everyone, welcome to Delft Junction again. This is my third video. Still learning, still trying to get my head around the technical side of it. But before I start, I'd just like to give a few thanks out, mainly to Rob and Grace, RGJ Trains, Brian on Finnerton, they've all helped me out. SJ Training World, Simon is giving me a few tips. Dino, who puts my links up all the time for me, same as Paul at Wallset, and everybody else that sort of given me, some encouragement and a bit of hope. It hasn't gone too bad. Alright, before we get started, I've done this expanding foam bit of scenics. It's not gone bad, but before we get started, I'd just like to give you a quick heads up or a warning, if you like, and it's to do with this, which is the crystals. I don't know if you can see it, that you boil in a saucepan, put it in the saucepan, put a light under it and melt it basically, then pour it over. I've had a bad experience. It's good for small bits like ponds, little ponds, puddles, things like that. But if you're doing a big bit and you've got movement in your layout, don't use it because it just cracks. I shall show you some pictures before and after where it was cracking up, and it's my attempt to fix it afterwards. Of course, it's up to you. If you want to try it, then I'm just giving you a bit of a warning. As I said, I'll show you the pictures and then you can see what you think. Well, I hope that was some help towards you with your decisions if you use it at all. So it is the crystals, and you can sort of see them here. I don't know if you can see them properly. All pretty crystals there. And you just pour them in the saucepan and melt them. I won't ever use them again. There's other things on the market you can use. That you've got two chemicals that you add together. I don't know, you have to go on YouTube. Charlie at Chadwick does it, and plus others have done it, and it seems a better idea. Right, let's get on to the next one. Is Maeve, very nice gentleman, has asked me how I built my river. I've done a little video. It's not very informative because it's already built. I couldn't really show him, but I hope this is a little bit of help for him. Basically, it's where the two baseboards meet, and in the middle where there's a gap, I've built the river, and sort of like build it up and put all my rocks and mountains and all the bushes and things. And after that fiasco with the pretend water, I've had to repair it, but I think it looks all right. It's okay for me anyway. I've done this little one for Maeve, and see what he thinks. Well, this is my river scene. I've tried to make it or build it as easy as I could. What I actually did was, you'll have to excuse the end here because I haven't completed this yet. But I've got two baseboards coming from either way, and one ends here and one ends here, so that left a gap. And what I did was I went underneath. I don't know, it's a bit dark, but you should be able to see. But I built a platform, or I built that sort of plywood base underneath, lowered on this beam here. So that gave me a bit of depth, and that was the whole length of this bit here. And it works. It works. I mean, you have to support the baseboard underneath, but where I ended the baseboard here and ended the baseboard here, it allowed me to have that much area to build a river. and it seemed to have worked out. But as you saw on the other videos, the pretend water I used didn't work out, and I've had to sort of like repair it all along here. But in the end it worked out, and it sort of goes right back, goes right over the bridges, goes right up to the wall, and it sort of worked. I hope that's of some help. Not much, but unless I pull it apart I can't really show you. I hope that was helpful. If I'd have sort of like come on YouTube as I was building it, it would have been more informative. But let's get on to the what we're here for, and that's the expanding foam with the embankment I've built. I've done it in two parts. I've finished it, but I'll show you in stages on different videos I've done how I've sort of progressed with it. I'm not an expert modeller. I've only been doing it 2 years, so you know, you have to give me a bit of leeway. But you know, it's okay for me. I mean, it's my little layout. I'm not taking it to any exhibitions or showing anybody. Like, you know, I mean, if anybody wants to come in the cabin, then they can have a look at it. They might enjoy it. But if you like it, or if you like what I've done, or you know, if it's helped you out or informed you a little bit, like and subscribe if you can. It help my channel out. I'm not sort of one sort of going for masses of audience sort of thing, but it'd be nice to have a few subscribers, you know, all like-minded, all in the same sort of hobby that we do, and we all got the same interest. Anyway, let's get on with the hobby. Enough of my waffling, and I hope you enjoy it. But I say, if you do, like and subscribe, and you know, it just shows me I'm sort of not wasting my time on YouTube. All right, thank you. In case anybody's wondering what's going round, it's my little Class 20 pulling the Pico rail cleaner around, just having him go around cleaning track 4. I'll show you what it is. Little Class 20. And the Pico track cleaner seems to do the job okay. I have cheated a little bit on this. I didn't think you wanted to see my painting skills, but what I did was, all this, as you see by the other photo, I painted all in brown. I've added another bit over here, but what I've done is I've done a layer of sort of, it's not scatter, it is grass, but it's a mixture. It's a fine turf one, very fine, you know, and a mixture of the green grass, which is also fine turf. Mix them up in a jar for it to sprinkle, and sort of all mixed up in there, and just sprinkle it over. I'll show you what I've done. So just get a bit of PVA. That's all it is, PVA. Just paint the top of it. Make sure you get it all in. Doesn't matter if you show a bit of brown, because that's sort of like natural world, isn't it? A little bit of brown showing through the grass. Just dab it in. Make sure you get it all over. Lovely stuff. And this is the only time I'm going to use PVA on this. I'm going to use a spray next time. We'll put a bit of static grass on it. But the PVA is okay for the fine turf. Get right in. So it doesn't matter if it goes over a little bit, as long as you don't PVA down on the track and things like that, because that can all be hoovered up and things afterwards. Get it all over. It still takes about a day to dry anyway, so we'll come back to it later. Then get a little jar. It's what it is. It's what you get from the kitchen where you've got your spices and that in. This one, what is it? Oh, hot smoked paprika. Go and nick your wife's jar. and that's all you need. And you just sprinkle it over. Get it all on. Doesn't matter if it goes everywhere, because you're going to clean it up afterwards. Might look a bit of a mess at the moment. Once you're finished, it'll look alright. Make sure it gets all over the brown bits that you can see. As I said, it doesn't matter if brown bits are showing, because it would do naturally anyway. And all I do is just get a little brush, just brush it up a little bit. Sprinkle a little bit more over here. I haven't used a lot of it up actually, it doesn't take a lot, but some say you don't need to put a base down when you do static grass, but I like it, because if you can see through the static grass, what you're seeing is green, and then if you can see through the green, you've got the brown underneath, so whichever way you look at it, it's going to be natural. Anyway, we'll wait for all this to dry. I've done a bit down the side here as well, beside the shed. Wait for all this to dry off, then we'll start doing the static grass along here. Then once the static grass is on, then you can add your bushes and things like that, and maybe a couple of little trees, you know, just to make it look natural. Anyway, we'll come back to that later. Right, what I've done on this next bit is I've PVA'd all down here and this little bit here. Used just the darker sort of fine turf. It's called earth, but it's turf, but just the darker one. Didn't add any bits of green into that one. Sprinkled it all over, all down here, and this bit here, because it's got to look sort of like deadish, if you know what I mean, because it's on a railway, isn't it? Sprinkled it all over, and all I do is just tap it down a little bit, just to flatten it out. As I said, later on you can add little bits of foliage along here. Just tap it down a little bit, down the shed, and this bit over here. But not bothered about the sides here, because this is all going to have ballast down here eventually, so that sort of all be covered up with ballast. But down this middle bit, it'll look like, you know, where the ballast doesn't reach, there'll be a bit of growth and a bit of grass and a few bushes and things like you see on railways. So we'll go to the next stage when that's all dry. It should take about a day, I suppose. Anyway, see you later. I've done all the base one now, the like very short stuff. It's not scatter, it is classed as grass. But what I'm doing now, I've done this bit here, and I'm just putting static grass on the top here. It looks messy, but it'll all clean up afterwards. And all you do is give it a quick spray of the old glue. Go everywhere, but the old Hoover will attack that. Get rid of it all. Spray it all. Give it a good coating. And get the old fandangle. I do it close with that right underneath, and it seems to work. And yes, it is standing up. Good. Give it a good going over. I was going to use a bigger or lengthier static grass. I've got a 10 and a 12mm one, but I thought that would be too much for this. So this is 4mm. It seems to be standing up okay. And that will be have little bushes and maybe a couple of trees in it. I don't know yet. Done this bit here. Not worried about there. I can put little bushes and things around there, sort of cover this up. Little bush in there. And that will be the next stage. That's all there is to it. It's starting to come together now. I just want to show you how I make my trees. I use about 4 different forms of trees. These ones are the seafoam ones. I've just painted the trunk up a little bit there. All I get is like what everybody else uses. A bit of hairspray, super hold hairspray. Spray it all over. Smells nice. Wife people wonder where I've been. So, got some leaf scatter here. You can get it from most model shops and that. You just sprinkle it over, and we'd like it should stick. More out there. So I use like 4 different forms of trees. I use the armatures. I make my own ones up. That's for another vlog though. So I'll tell you how I do all that later on. Let's just scatter the leaves out. They don't have to be heavy. It's not a big bushy tree. It's going to sit on the embankment. Shake it. Just give it a little bit of green, just so you know that it's got some leaves on it. And I've done some others. So it's a bit bigger one. And done a little titchy one. And I'll find a place for them, sort of like all along the embankment. But the one I'm going to put an armature type tree on the at the back of the engine shed. I'll show you how that goes when I get it out. Okay, right, these are the armatures I use. They come like this. You get them in small ones, which is the one I'm going to use. You get them sort of like medium-sized ones or bigger ones. That's about the biggest you can get in these ones. But all I want is a small one. They come with a base, well, I don't usually use, but I will use it this time because it's going on to cork, then hardboard underneath. I can't stick it into styrofoam. So you just whip them off, and that's off. Then just bend these around, whichever way you want them. So it looks like a tree, like branches. Keep bending it so they will stick out on all sorts of angles and whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. If you think it looks like a tree, then it looks like a tree in your eyes. And keep bending it and doing all sorts of things to it. The next stage is to fill it up a little bit, which make it bulk it out. And what I use, I've got this is packing that I've got on one of my purchases. You only need little bits, little tiny bits to stick all around the branches, just to pack it out. And you stick it all over like that. Just to bulk it, not too much. Don't put big clumps on unless you want a clumpy tree, of course. If you want a big clumpy tree, then you put more on. But once you've done that, then you take the whole lot out, probably out in the garden, not like what I've done in this box inside my cabin. Sort of a little bit choky. But once you've done that, then you take it out, spray it. I spray it brown, spray it green. That's what it comes back like. Sort of browny colour. Then you do the same as you've done with the seafoam trees. Get the old smelly hairspray. Give it a good spray. All over. Really sticky stuff this is. So you end up smelling nice. I suppose you can get the unperfumed ones. But this time I'm going to use a slightly different scatter. It's got colours in it and things like that. Don't know if you can, I can't really see it, but just sprinkle it over. Just make it sort of look tree-fied. Don't want too much, otherwise it won't look natural. You can see the little bits I've used, how much it's bulked out. This one's going at the back of the engine shed, so it's a proper tree. But this is only the small armature. Big one would have been too much. Just sprinkle it over. A bit more in there. Different colour. Sprinkle it over so you get all around it. Sorry about my hand. Just give it a bash, and there you've got a sort of a tree. So where you've got the brown bits, if you want to go over it, just give it another spray because it does dry up this stuff. Just get it all over. Give it a bash, get the loose off. There you've got a tree. Probably not a very good one. I mean, I'm not the most talented modeller going. I've only been doing it a couple of years, but learning as I go along. I'm at my age. Now I should put them on the layout. That's one tree. Okay. Well, that's as far as I'm going with this one at the moment. Still got a fair bit to do around the back here. That's going to be done at a later date. I've got my trees in. Got a bit of foliage in the middle of them. I've PVA'd all the bits I've added on, so that's going to set. Ballasted and PVA'd, so it's all set. Got my tree and the back of the shed, as you can see. That works all right. Well, gardeners need to be out, and it's gone on the roof there, look. Needs to be cut back a little bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Say I'm not an expert modeller, but I'll try and do my best. Okay, thank you.